Hey. Special guest,
Hi guys, welcome.
Chris, my dear friend Chris, aka Mr Luvva Luvva. Some of you may know his vlogs, some of you may not know his vlogs, but you all should know his vlogs.
That's what I was going to say. If you haven't checked it out, check it out.
You got a Twitter?
I do, at Mr_Luvva_Luvva.
Catchy.
It's catchy. Everything's catchy.
It's all catchy.
It's my name now.
It's all about the game. He gets that shouted in the street all the time. He has to wear shades and hats.
And masks.
And masks sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes.
It's a shame though that you're wearing shaggy masks. So they end up shouting anyway. Anyway, we just watched Foxcatcher and now we're having tea and talking about it. So, what do you think, Chris?
Interesting, in a word. If I could describe the Foxcatcher in one word, it was interesting. And I'm still not too sure what I made of it, if I'm honest. Trouble digesting it.
Alright, well, performances.
Channing Tatum, a man I said pre-movie,
Yeah.
has trouble convincing me he's human, let alone the character he's meant to be portraying. I actually thought he was excellent.
There you go! There you go!
I actually thought he was excellent. He portrayed the wrestler with the body but not the brain very, very well.
Oh, yeah. In a lot of ways, he was like a shorter Andre the Giant.
Yeah, with tones of Hulk Hogan being
Tones of Hulk Hogan.
the true American.
And Transformers. He is a real
I'm
American.
just saying.
Fight for the right of every man. And he transforms into Randy Orton at the end.
At the end.
Spoilers, he transforms into Randy Orton at the end.
Yeah, that's the big finale. He's Randy Orton. You know,
yeah, he evolves.
at some point I thought it was...
Steve Carell didn't press the B button in time and he turns into Randy Orton.
No.
Shit.
He has forgotten his moves. Ah, dear, oh dear. At times I thought it was a bit Kurt Angle-y as well. There was that whole... the middle act, really, where he was training and wrestling. You've seen a lot more wrestling action. It was very Kurt Angle-y, very clean cut.
Yeah.
And then it changed.
Oh, it changes. Alright, we should do a quick recap of the plot. This is based on what the events that led and followed the Seoul Olympics, 1988.
Yep.
Okay, where basically the Schultz brothers, Mark and Dave, are in turn sort of hired. Contracted by eccentric, shall we say, John DuPont of the DuPont dynasty to wrestle for him in his name and win gold for him. Because
well, for America, isn't it? I mean, John DuPont's a patriot.
For America / him.
For America / him. Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. So basically it's a Rocky montage spread over 2.5 hours.
But nowhere near as upbeat. Nowhere near as upbeat.
No, that's...
Their hearts were not on fire.
That's it, yeah, there was... It reminded me a bit like The Fighter, the Christian Bale movie from 2009, was it? The Fighter with the boxers.
Yeah, no, I know it.
Two brothers.
Christian Bale and
Marky Mark.
Mark Wahlberg. I would say that's better.
It reminded me of that.
Yeah. Don't watch Foxcatcher, watch The Fighter again.
Yes.
There you go, do that. But if you are going to see it, it's, Steve Carell steals it.
Yeah, I mean, you said on the way back there it was his movie.
It's not about him. You go in thinking it's about him, but it's not. It's about the Schultz brothers, and he just sort of steals it. And you notice because he's wearing this prosthetic so he can look like John DuPont. And if you Google John DuPont doesn't look like that, so it's kind of confusing. However, his prosthetic always makes him look like he's looking down his nose at you.
See, that's what I thought as well. That's one thing that got me. His prosthetics on his face do a really good job at hiding Steve Carell.
Yes,
at times you forgot you were watching Steve Carell, which is possibly why they went the prosthetic route and not the makeup route.
I can get that, but it doesn't look like John DuPont. It looks like a gargoyle.
Well, it does. It looks kind of like a weird mixture of a gargoyle and Santa in that movie with the Santa Claus with Tim Allen.
What?
And the third one, in the third ones, he wears that heavy prosthetic when he's fat.
It's a toy Santa, isn't it? That happens in the third
yes.
one. He makes it roll. Like a toy Santa gives everyone. What?
He looks kind of like that Santa.
He looks like that Santa.
Yeah, the prosthetics are pretty poor. I would say poor.
Well, they do hide the Steve Carellness.
On close-ups, though, it looks prosthetic.
Mm.
Maybe it was because we were watching it in 4K.
Maybe.
That could be a side effect of the 4K, but I don't know. The prosthetics were a bit... I've seen better.
Fair enough. Mark Ruffalo.
Excellent.
Dave Schultz.
Excellent.
Yes.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Mark Ruffalo's been great ever since Mark Ruffalo has been on screen. I think he's great. I think he's underrated.
Yes.
I think he was superb. He played that clean-cut, driven American pro athlete incredibly well. He was likable.
You care for him.
Yeah, he was.
You care for him more than anybody else in the movie, even Mark Schultz.
Yeah. His character was the most rounded, though.
Oh yeah.
He was very driven, but he was a very family-oriented.
He's a family guy. He's like, there's multiple times where Channing Tatum's character Mark is like trying to get him to up and move to come on the DuPont estate. He's like, look, I don't want to uproot my family. We're doing right here. Yeah. So yeah, he's got his priorities right.
Yeah, and the whole movie is about him. He's basically the brains behind Channing Tatum's brawn. He's the true gold medalist in the family. Yeah. And it does lead to moments of self-doubt. Yes. I think is the best way. The first act is all dreary. Yeah. Where Channing Tatum's down on himself and... Yeah. Channing Tatum's in his shadow, basically, because Dave Schultz won an Olympic medal before his brother Mark did, and it kind of shouldn't matter. You've both won Olympic medals. That's as equal as you're ever going to be. That's the pinnacle of your sport. Yeah. It's just unfortunate they have the same sport. If Channing Tatum played baseball, that would be probably better for the family. Is that an Olympic sport? I don't know. It should be. Sure, why not? Yeah. Watching baseball should be an Olympic sport as well. Because it's tough going. Yeah, fuck me, I mean, I'm of that mind with most sports. So. I'm extra generous there. But, I don't know, final thoughts? Still trying to digest my thoughts. Riveting. It kept you glued to the screen. You cared, on the whole, you cared about pretty much every character you were introduced to. Yeah. John DuPont was incredibly well portrayed. Yes. Yes. Very friendly when he needed to be, quite cold when it asked for it. Oh, yes. And a little shocking is that the word? Yes. Shocking's a word. Shocking in times. Yeah, I'm just surprised Channing Tatum kept me watching him for 2 hours, 30 minutes. So, if you can't stand Channing Tatum, but you like wrestling, it's a good movie. There you go. If you do like Channing Tatum, especially his torso, there's a lot of it, go watch it. He's the world's sexiest, overachieving pro wrestler, apparently. Just like Randy Orton. Just like Randy Orton. So if you want to watch Channing Tatum turn into Randy Orton before he becomes Gambit, there you go. I'm still shocked he's Gambit. That's a different movie. That's a different podcast for a different time, I think. Yes, indeed. Oh, man. Well, yeah. Generally, good movie. It's directed by the same guy who directed Moneyball, so if you've seen Moneyball, watch this. It does follow the same type of formula. It's a sports movie with very little to no sport. It's a thinking man sports movie. Yeah. Yeah. I'll give it that. Yeah. I'll give it that. Yeah. There we go. Well, that's it then. YouTube. If you like this video, like, subscribe, view, share, all the usual. Don't forget to click and like and love Mr. Luvva Luvva over here.